Actually, I clicked live just so that people could hear me scolding you. Hi, good morning, everybody.
I'm trying to get in the frame. Tell people how mean you are.
I'm not mean, I'm just a pain in the neck. Good morning to you. It is time for coffee talk. We were in the middle of a discussion and I was like, I'm going to click live now. Just for the fun of it.
Good thing I didn't say
Well, I was controlling the situation. Good morning. It is so cold in this studio. I feel like it's got us in this giddy mode. Giddy just to stay warm, I think. It is so cold in here. Good morning to you. First warning, meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk on a Saturday morning, and it is cool outside, but let me tell you something. It is so cold in the studio that my fingers are numb. Jacqueline, is it because like there's a computer?
Alex said the same thing because there's just he had like a little heater in here.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if that's like
Probably not something you'd want to tell the boss.
No,
Go ahead.
It was, I don't know where it is now, but it was in here and he came over between the weather hit.
Yeah.
He was like whirring his fingers up because it was so cold.
If it's in the 50s in the studio, I would not be surprised.
It has to be.
It's got to be in the 50s. Like, wow. All right. Anyway, you're not here to hear us just complain. I mean, maybe you are. Why is that not working? Why are you not working? Is my computer? See, it's too cold. I should have checked this before. Oh, that's why. There. I'm like, I should have checked this before I came on Coffee Talk. We were just having such a. Linda says you're in a coat and she's sleeveless. She has a full blanket on though. To be transparent, can you? Yeah, she's got the whole blanket going. Yeah, I mean, good observation though. It is so cold in here. All right, it is at least beautiful outside. Here's a live look at our tower cam shot. That's in Daytona Beach. Tim says back to a 2-layer day or freezing in the studio. No, I've got the undershirt, I've got the dress shirt, it's a 3-layer day. Yeah. At least it's a beautiful start. All right, enough about the studio stuff. It's gorgeous outside, blue skies. Let's talk temperatures. It's cold in here, but in other parts of Central Florida, it's actually even cooler. We're at 57 degrees in the city. We're sitting at about 48 degrees in DeLand, 46 in Palm Coast, 48 degrees in Ocala. So yeah, it's very nice. It's very nice. It's going to be very nice today. That fog that we're tracking this morning, I want to make sure that you know, dense fog advisories are posted across parts of Central Florida. This runs until 10 o'clock this morning, but by 10 o'clock or so, by 9, 10 o'clock, that fog will be able to lift and we'll be just fine across Central Florida. It's going to be a bright, sunshiny day today. Temperatures are going to climb. Let's take a look at that day planner forecast to help get you through. Upper 60s by late in the morning, around 71, I think, by lunchtime. And then we keep going to about 75, 77 degrees this afternoon. It just depends on exactly where you're located. Yeah. Chris, where's a Klieg light? What's a Klieg light? I have no idea what you're referring to. I have no idea. Ryan, see, and then Ryan has to go put it into perspective. It's 33 here. Feels like 33 in the studio.
Yeah, for real.
They could do a cost-cutting measure and just not have it so cold in here. I don't know. It's because we have a computer, I guess, that controls the air conditioner, and it's not working. Or it's overworking.
Like an update or something.
Yeah, like somebody needs to download that Windows update, I guess. All right, so it's a beautiful forecast today. I'm happy to say the sun is going to shine. Eric, good morning from my hospital bed healing. I hope everything is good for you, my friend. Let's see here. Beverly, my Australian Shepherd Chow mix is outside and loving it. I love that. That sounds very nice to me. Foggy and 48, Eli says. Marie, good morning to you. Sherry, good morning. I'm in Ohio, so I'm a little further north, Ryan says. Yeah, well, and as Jacqueline, as I was saying to you, like, you can't shovel sunshine, you know, so.
I've never heard that.
You've never heard that before. I feel like.
So. Maybe I have, maybe I forgot about it.
I feel like that's a crutch phrase of mine for forever. Let's talk temperatures across the rest of the country just so that, you know, it's a little less painful, we'll say. 32 in Chicago.
Woof.
Actually, that's not even that bad, frankly, right? 30 degrees in Minneapolis. It's 61 in Dallas. 68 in Houston, 57 in Orlando, and yeah, 14 in Bangor. No thank you. No thank you. Tim says going for a nice walk with the dog in a bit. That sounds good to me. My brother Frank says you can't shovel sunshine is a quote-unquote very old saying.
Okay.
I know I didn't invent it. I'm not smart enough to invent that, but I'll use it. It's kind of like the LRC. Use what use it. Don't be smart enough to invent it. Hey, if you're hanging up holiday lights today, I know that there were a lot of people doing it yesterday. I know that there's going to probably be a lot of people doing it today. If you're getting your Christmas tree, whatever it is, temperatures climbing into the upper 70s. Just remember the sunscreen and the hat if you're spending an extended period of time outside. I think you're going to be fine. But the UV rays don't, just because it's not 90 degrees outside doesn't mean you can't get a sunburn. I feel like a lot of people don't realize that.
I wear sunscreen every day on my face.
Do you really?
Yeah, no matter what.
Jacqueline says she wears sunscreen on her face every day. It's smart. I wish that I was that smart. Evelyn says my dad is in Chicago. He can keep it. I agree with that. Tim, hoping to get up on the ladder with some lights before the day is over. Yeah, my friend. Great forecast for that. Great forecast if you're heading out to the attractions. Here's a look over at Universal Studios opening up in just about an hour, looking gorgeous. If you're heading over to SeaWorld, same idea. It's looking gorgeous, opening up until, 10 p.m. tonight. And then if you're heading over to Epcot, I love it. I want to go there.
I love Epcot.
I do too. Maybe we've got plans, I think, at lunchtime today, Jacqueline. Maybe I can convince the wife to go over to Disney after. I'd like to do that.
It was a nice day.
Klein lights were used in television studios for lighting. They put off tremendous amount of heat. We had old lighting. I've been in television for 20 years. We used to have the old lights. The new ones that were all fluorescent, they don't put out the heat. Yeah, I remember back in the olden days, I had like a parka to wear at the studio. But with the new fluorescent lights, we haven't needed to do that. But I think the air conditioning broken thing, that's on its own thing. It is what it is. What are you going to do? All right. Well, even though if it feels like winter in the studio, the official winter solstice is December 21st. So still about 2.5 weeks or so away. At that point, our average high drops to 72 degrees. All right. We're not there yet, but we're definitely dropping little by little. The average high for now is 75. We're hitting 77. So our temperatures are running a little above average today in Orlando. About 75 degrees in the Villages, 73 in Palm Coast. So it does look very nice. Ryan says, my old knees hate this cold. I get that. I can certainly.
My hips were hurting me yesterday.
Your hips were hurting? Well, they don't lie.
Right?
Your hips don't lie.
I was like,
Bah.
what's happening?
Yeah. Is it that you're getting old or is it the
I think
weather?
so.
I
I
think
went for
so.
a walk of 1.5 miles.
Hold on,
and
let's Jacqueline chime in, please. Go ahead.
I know. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
But I was saying I went for a walk for like 1.5 miles and my hips were sore. I'm like, that's really pathetic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I will say, though, I did that 1 mile run, and it was the fastest run I'd ever done, but I was exhausted. Like,
Yeah.
my body was sore for a couple of days, and it's like, man, I've run a lot further than this.
Also, I haven't like really worked out a lot since Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So I think when you don't work out and then you do like any
Oh,
type
yeah.
of physical activity, it hurts worse.
But it's good. It's good. I went for a power walk yesterday. I was the hurried shopper in my neighborhood,
Okay.
and I enjoyed it. I'm not
Yeah.
sore today, so there's that. At least there's that heading in the right direction, right? I don't know. Kenneth, how did November rate as far as coldest November on record? It wasn't the coldest, but we did average out. I made the graphic and we discussed it. Let me go back to the earlier this week. November's average high temperature was 1.1 degrees cooler than average. Eric says, Jacqueline can get new hips like I did Friday. I'm sure, look, I mean, if she's complaining like this, wait until she gets to be 50. Then the complaints will continue, and just saying, that's when you'll get the new hips. All right, for the month of December, I haven't made it apparently in the new graphics package, so going to have to show it to you in an old ugly graphic. Ignore the fact that it says first alert. We're not called that anymore. Ignore the fact that the graphic is ugly because we've updated things. But the data is there. Beginning of the month, average high is 75. End of the month, average high is 71. All right, so this is the month that we kind of start to make that adjustment. Severe weather can be possible. Thankfully, not seeing any of that on our 7-day forecast. And temperatures can get down to freezing. Record high, 95. Record low is 18. Thankfully, we don't have any of that in the vicinity, though we do have a stretch of warmer weather. Let's get out of that ugly old graphics package and get back to our new stuff. Gah, it's amazing that we used to think that that looked good. This week, let's taco about it, all right? Temperatures are going to be climbing from the 70s this weekend to the low 80s at the beginning of the week to the mid-range of the 80s, mid to end of the week, which means, are we into record territory? The answer is simply no. 88, and we talked a little bit about this yesterday on Coffee Talk, but I just wanted to continue it. Wednesday's high is 83, Thursday's high is 83, Friday's high is 84. Records are in the upper range of the 80s. So thankfully, we're not there, but it's definitely going to be a nice little quote-unquote heat wave for Central Florida, for what it's worth. So plan accordingly. I think we're going to be looking good. I think we're going to be feeling good. We do have a really nice stretch of weather these next couple of days. Tim's asking, what are Jack's snacks that she's enjoying this morning? Oh, she's not behind me. She'll come back. We can check in with her in a little bit. Felina, question. Saw that many of the northern states are now snowless, causing ski resorts to remain closed. What's going on with that? Well, the long and short of it is that we're kind of entering into, and I'm trying to find while I'm talking to you, we're kind of entering into a La Nina weather pattern where it actually pushes the jet stream up to the north just a little bit, which does mean that the northeast will tend to be a little wetter and cooler, and we're going to tend to be a little warmer and drier. But notice out west, the jet stream also runs a little further to the north. So that's playing into things. And then there's just kind of, you know, more mesoscale things. The question is going to be, how strong is this La Nina going to be? If we look at, here's another way of looking at it. Cooler waters out in the Pacific, of course. Oh, that's hurricane season, yeah. I'm just looking through old graphics, yeah. That's older. Yeah, that's older. Oh, God, that is ugly. Okay, all right. So bottom line is, for us, it's going to tend to mean a warmer and drier winter, but you can kind of see how up around, you know, the Pacific Northwest, see how the jet stream goes a little further to the north. That would tend to also lead to a bit drier conditions out west for the ski slopes. So we'll see how it all plays out. You know, that's where we're at now. These things can change over the next few months. Let's see here. The Weather Channel app shows rain on Wednesday with a drop on Thursday to 78. Why the difference? We have a holiday party Thursday night. That's why I'm asking. First off, Matthew, good question. Second off, remember that the Weather Channel is not based locally. So they're forecasting on a global scale. We are local. My forecast is for us. So why the disparagement? If you look at the computer models, let me see if I can pop that up for you. If you look at the computer models, let's go to the GFS, sign in. Oh my goodness, there we are. Okay, let's do this. Let's do multi-parameter, precip type. Okay, all right, so here's a look. This is just going to be a raw look at the GFS, all right? And that is Monday. You can kind of see that line of green approaching us, fading. That's a cold front not doing its thing. But there's a pretty decent storm system. You see that moving into the northeastern United States? That's going to be a doozy. Now, the reason that you're seeing what you're seeing for the forecast there, that's Wednesday night into Thursday. One model is a little drier for us, but notice that's a big storm system in the northeastern United States. Let's go back to Wednesday and let's switch over to the European model. It's going to be a very different scenario. It's going to be a much wetter scenario for us. Let me go back a run because that one doesn't go out as far. You see how there's a lot more moisture around Florida? That's 0Z Thursday, which is Wednesday night. If we switch out to the GFS, it's a much drier setup for us. So it's basically what you're looking at in terms of which model are you trusting more, because they are definitely different. They're definitely different scenarios, and that's why one of the big things, this is just kind of a look at some of the models. What a lot of meteorologists are using now is what's called the NBM, or the National Blend of Models. So let me do that. Let me hit Florida. All right, so this is Florida on the National Blend of Models, and what you're looking at is kind of a composite. The NBM, the National Blend of Models, is a composite between models, forecast data, and it's all kind of put together, and it's designed to help. And the kind of overall consensus is that that moisture on Wednesday into Thursday will get up to us, but will not make it in because of a ridge of high pressure, which is why when you look at our 7-day forecast, which is why it's not going with the cooling temperatures mid to late week, but it is including showers, because my thought process, looking at all the data and looking at the National Blend of Models, is that mid to late week we do have, so we've got that front approaching us on Monday, won't make it, but we did call for that front to be in the vicinity on our long range forecast. Then another front on about Wednesday, Thursday, won't make it, but it brings us a slight increase of moisture. Chris says, not only are you local, but you know local conditions very well. Yeah, well, and it's also understanding the climatology. And I'm not knocking the guys at the Weather Channel. I've got friends that work there. I'm not knocking the guys that work at AccuWeather, Weather Nation, Fox Weather. I've got friends that work at every one of these local weather national weather organizations. Weather's a really small business. But I will tell you, with absolutely zero question, that I've been forecasting in Florida my entire career. I've lived in Florida my entire life. So you just kind of start to pick up on these patterns and, and all of that fun stuff. Jason says, Eric be wearing that jacket like he's ready to march 2,000 south wind. Ready to go, baby. Tim, a new acronym, NBM. Yes, the National Blend of Models. It's a part, and if you're interested in learning about the National Blend of Models, I actually encourage you to just Google NBM, National Blend of Models, and read up on it. It's kind of an interesting scenario. And the weather data, just so that you know, it's available free of charge. You can get it just like I can. The way that I may present it is behind a paywall, just because I can manipulate different parameters, but the overall idea is there. Nikki, have you heard anything from Daryl? Haven't seen him lately, and I know he had been in the hospital, just a bit worried when one of our neighbors is missing for so long. I come to think of it, I haven't seen him in the last couple of days. I don't know. It's been a few days, yeah. I hope he's okay. Daryl, if you're here, buddy, would love to hear from you. Just make sure you're okay. That's kind of the neat thing about Coffee Talk. We do take care of each other, don't we? How far are we? We're 5 minutes away from the cut-in, all right? Any questions, by the way, my friends? While we're chatting, I just want to glance and look at the long-range BSR. This is the long-range BSR, and I just wanted to look because it's we're getting closer and closer to Christmas. That is valid 12Z on December. That is Christmas Eve. So according to the BSR, Christmas Eve should be clear and quiet, which if that trend continues, then I would say Christmas Day would also be clear and quiet. How's about that, huh? That would be a very welcome thing. Yeah, that's Christmas Eve right there. High pressure firmly in control. Upper air, nice cool breeze, yeah. Hey, if this plays out the way it looks, we could have a really nice Christmas forecast this year. And I think that it may just do that. So for now, first thoughts, a nice Christmas forecast. December 4th. I like it. I like it. Good morning from Boston, Paul says, looking at it. Well, thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. Going to finish wrapping presents. I hope you have a great one, buddy. Beverly, El Nino for hurricane season. Listen, we just got out of hurricane season. Let's take a breath, and then we can look at it later. Mercy, yes. What about my question on La Nina? Where does that come from? La Nina starts off with the Pacific Ocean, believe it or not. It's cooler, and I don't know if you can see it on that screen. See right where it says Coffee Talk? Basically, the equatorial Pacific is a little cooler. And because it's a little cooler, it does, believe it or not, influence what happens in the United States. You can look at those trends. It helps to shift up, just like the El Nino would do kind of the opposite thing. 3 minutes, 24 seconds to cut in. Debbie says we'll try to meet up with Tim today at the Magic Kingdom. Good luck. That'd be a lot of fun. So anyway, that's kind of what we're looking at. I hope everybody likes that. I have to go switch over from my coat to my suit coat. But for right now, asterisk, first call, looks like Christmas is going to be beautiful. If this all plays out, which I hope it does. Yeah. All right. Getting from the upper 70s to the low and mid 80s the next couple of days. My friends, be good. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. I hope you guys and gals have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. I will be posting on social media throughout the day. All right. Bye, guys. Have